Welcome back to the Listen Up podcast, where we analyze a new album each week. I'm Jamie, and this week we've got me, Nick, and Jordan.
Here comes the party.
This is going to be our first episode back with just the three of us, coming off of, our 2-month-long guest month. Figure that one out. Because I don't want to do the math. This week, we're going to be taking a look at Stories Don't End by Dawes, released in 2013, and it was picked by Nick. Nick, why did you choose this album for us to listen to?
I think I said at the end of the last episode that I've loved this band for forever, and by forever I mean since like.
Would you say
2015.
that they're your favorite band?
I would say that they're definitely top 5, probably top 3, competitive up there, and I think I discovered them around the time they came out with their album that came after this album called All Your Favorite Bands. And
is that the sandy looking one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a tan beige color on the front, and it's got like a party banner.
Mm-hmm. That's the one that I remember you telling me about.
Yeah, probably. But I almost picked that one to talk about on the podcast, because that's probably my favorite one. But I decided to go with this one, which is the one I really knew the least about. And I still, I realized listening through it again that I still knew most of the words to probably like half the songs on it. But
right.
But half of them I kind of still forgot about. So it was really cool to go back and listen to, and there were probably 1 or 2 on there that I'll probably like gravitate towards whenever I'm in a Dawes mood now. Because I used to not really seek out this album that much, but I like it a lot. And it was also kind of inspired by there's a record store in Winston-Salem called Underdog Records, and they posted a picture that they got in a used copy of the vinyl, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, I might buy this. And I have post notifications turned on for the record store. So I saw the post like an hour after it came out, and I checked the comments, and someone had already bought it. And I was like, what?
Oh, dang.
See, I also had post notifications on for them, but they post like 8 times a day.
Yeah.
So I had to turn them off.
I check it every time. It's what made me buy the
I kind of had
vinyl. Brothers by the Black Keys.
I had a similar great album
for the listener. I just wanted to.
I had a similar experience with Chulahoma by the Black Keys. It was one of those albums that like I knew about, and I knew Meet Me in the City.
Mm-hmm.
But then I listened back to it, and I was like, oh, I actually do know a few more of these. So I had like a similar thing kind of recently. I don't remember. That was a few months ago when I had that. I had the same experience listening back to that one. I was like, huh. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the only song I know off of Chulahoma, but I should go back and listen to it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's called Junior's Song. I don't remember. That one's, or Junior's Widow. That one's really good too. I like that one. Yeah, this was, so Jordan, were you familiar with this album / band?
Other than Nick talking about them every second of the day? No.
Oh.
I'm...
Yeah, now he's all on the Radiohead grind,
Yes.
Couldn't be me.
My man's down bad.
Could never be me.
That's most of my experience as well with them. Like I remember checking them out whenever Nick told me about them, and I was like, oh, okay, this I could kind of see it. And I know a few songs off of the album that's got like We're Living in the Future on it.
Oh yeah. The album's called Passwords.
Okay. Leo just made the loudest freaking sound. He's irate that we're not playing with him right now.
When I saw them in concert, that was their most recent album.
Okay. Yeah, because but most of what I know about them is you like talking about them and like sending clips and stuff like that. But I also they have two of my favorite like emotional songs. They have "Moon in the Water" and "A Little Bit of Everything." Those songs are incredible and they are very sad. If you're in the right mood, you will cry. But they're very, very good pieces of art.
Yeah. I was gonna say I knew you were a big "Moon in the Water" guy. I haven't listened to that song in a long time, but
that shit hits every single time.
It really does. I listened to a little bit of everything this morning when I was getting ready because I knew today was going to be a Dawes day for the podcast, and I think that like
it's the Matador and the Bull.
That song's kind of sad, but it just feels like kind of Forrest Gump in nature, like.
You gotta elaborate on that one, dog.
Well, like it covers so many different stories. Sure, Forrest Gump is just the singular story of his life, but it covers so many different situations and like
that makes sense.
Emotional spectrums. Like
that is a good actually. I forget that like that's the plot of Forrest Gump. It's just like taking you different through different like times.
Go.
Whenever that was a good analogy though.
Thank you. Whenever I see
and that's why I had you elaborate.
Yeah. Whenever I see a movie that's like a grand story about like one person's life or like shows all kinds of experiences they go through and stuff, that's just what I say. Is it's a Forrest Gump type thing. And
Forrest.
They're probably the most Forrest Gump music I can think of, you know. That's probably like a terribly like inaccurate thing to say, but the vibe kind of comes across. I also realize that they exemplify a genre that I didn't even really know existed or didn't know how to describe until I took my History of Popular Music 1950s to 70s class. Yeah. And then we listened to, I can't remember what song we listened to in class, but it was when we talked about the Eagles and Neil Young and like Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Like that weird California rock, country rock thing.
Yes. Like I love all of that I hear. And a lot of it was recorded in a region of California called Laurel Canyon. And that was where Dawes recorded their debut album. So
cool.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until today when I read it, and I was like, that makes sense. The sound lined up, but it even makes more sense that they recorded their debut album basically live on analog tape without like much digital recreation of any sounds or anything.
Usually, yeah, there's a few areas where like it's not even a specific genre of music, but like some studios you just have like, like this is a Muscle Shoals kind of band. This is like a Laurel Canyon. Like it's so specific, but like there's some studios just have such iconic sounds. And like, I guess not just one studio, but like, you know, a town that has multiple studios in that town. Because it's just whatever that music scene makes it big. Like a lot of the really popular grunge was Seattle.
Yep.
Like Pearl Jam and Nirvana were both Seattle. And I think there's some other stuff too. And so it is, I find it really interesting to see if you follow back even big like global genres to where they started. It's like, you know, some guy had a studio and was very influential all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Like all of the Motown stuff, it's just so iconic.
I know that the Alabama Shakes' first album was recorded in Muscle Shoals. And I think part of I was reading some of the credits for Brothers today, and some of those songs were recorded in Muscle Shoals, not all of them, but
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's cool, bro. It's almost like little dynasties of studios, like Sun Records in
in Tennessee.
Yeah. So much stuff came out of there. There's the one in England that I can't think of.
What, Abbey Road?
No. Okay, so there are multiple in England, but there's Abbey Road was a huge one. But there's also another one that's like really iconic.
Abbey Road's the
Electric
Beatles
Ladyland.
one, right?
A lot of stuff came out of there.
Oh yeah,
Abbey Road's the Beatles one, right? Beatles one.
yeah. Uh-huh.
So it's the studio that they recorded that album at. Their label was called Apple Records, and it fell apart after a few years. But that's how James, the piano guy, huge
James Blake?
Bro,
James what?
I'm never gonna get this. I don't know why you want
James Blake?
Yeah.
Dude, he's like the Christmas guy. He's all of our parents' favorite like Christmas
Michael Bluebay?
dudes. No, it's James Taylor. James Taylor.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
My parents actually really do like James Taylor.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if my
he
parents
got
like
his
James
start on he was discovered and he put out his first thing at Apple Records, which was the Beatles
Apple
now
Records.
defunct studio
I didn't know that.
or label or studio. I think they had both. Anyway, yeah. So Jordan, I know that this isn't typically, your kind of stuff. How did you feel about this album?
I started playing in the car first off a little bit,
Mhm.
and it was kind of just like nice to like ride along to. Not very intense at all. Any part of the album, I don't think, as far as like music that I listened to before, which isn't a bad thing actually. Like I know it's music that I like less, but I mean, it's better than just it like being really sporadic and not like uniform, I guess. It was just a nice like a nice. I'm trying to think of. I always botch my adjectives whenever I try to get to them. I'm always like, it's like it's like this feeling that I can
it's like
say it. But
it's like not bad, but it's also not good.
I want to say it was like very good ride along music. I was able to just like kind of vibe to it, like, again, no very intense parts to any of it.
Yeah.
But it was nice, like chill music. Like I enjoyed listening to it because I didn't really have to. I guess for a couple, like maybe it's because I didn't listen to it a lot, but I didn't have to like think about what I was listening to a ton because I was just able to like understand it and just vibe with it already.
And that's kind of, I think that's pretty, that's pretty representative of this genre, really. Like you listen to stuff like the Eagles, some of Neil Young stuff, like Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. And that's what, it's interesting music, but it's not like, anywhere near as complex as some of the stuff that we've covered on the show. I mean, it's just kind of like a lead guitar, one or two rhythm guitars, a bass, a drum kit, and it's not quite like singer-songwriter sounding, but and no one's going ape shit on anything. You know what I mean? Like there's some piano in there. So yeah, I get that. It's like a very I mean, when I think of this kind of stuff, I think of like chill but not boring music, I guess.
Yeah, which is
definitely how.
It's funny how relaxing some of their older stuff is compared to how their live show is. Like I listened to their live album, and I thought, wow, like I need to see them in concert. They really change up a lot of their songs and like add a lot more energy into it and stuff. And then I saw them in concert, and they played it was a 3-hour show with a 15-minute intermission in the middle. They played like for forever, and they improvised in the middle of like every other song, and they changed up like so many songs. It was so impressive.
Damn.
They didn't have like an opener or anything. It was just them.
Oh really? I didn't know
on
that they didn't have the opener.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Jordan?
I said they were just like jamming out on stage.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say they're like a jam band, but I haven't like that. That might be a generous description of a jam band, like kind of an abstract definition. They just jam in their songs. I don't know how jammy they are in comparison to the Grateful Dead or Fish or something. Like people that are renowned for crazy concerts.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's like, it's a spectrum, right? Like not every not every jam band is gonna go for like 10 minutes a song. But I know that you said that like there were parts where, like, I mean, there were parts where, and when we saw St. Paul and the Broken Bones, that like they would just improvise and jam for like 6 or 7 minutes, longer.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because jam band is a hard thing to do, because most bands do that. Like most of them will improvise, and that's kind of like that's why I personally love live music, is because it's in the moment. That's what the artist feels like the art needs to say. Mm-hmm. So, like, how do you define it as a jam band? Is a jam band someone who, like, their studio stuff, they also do that? Or, I don't know. It's all a spectrum.
Yeah.
I had nowhere to go from there. That was that. Like a little...
I saw you look behind you. I didn't know if you were going to comment on...
No, it sounded like something like fell down.
Oh, good.
Ghost in the house?
Oh. The listeners.
It's Victoria.
Oh, wait, no, the guest. The guest.
Yeah. The ghost of Victoria floating behind you.
Ooh.
Tragic.
Bro, we can't get Leo on, man. I don't think I have it in me to do that.
rough.
We'll get Jordan to take him out.
Yeah, I won't be able to. Someone else.
Jordan's the designated animal control.
Executioner.
I'll kill a dog. I don't care.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Only if they've been a guest on this podcast.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with no, I'm kidding.
Wait. We just want it on record that Jordan.
You know what?
Wants
sorry,
to kill
I'm just gonna
dogs.
say I'm not gonna give any bad opinions because this is recorded. So, anyways, what were you gonna say, Nick or Jamie?
So I was going to say, I liked especially the first half of this album. There was a lot of like classic rock sound to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it didn't really sound as much like it was recorded in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or whatever, Like, like not even just in... It's just like in the different chord progressions and like the tone that they had. It just seemed kind of like a more... I don't know. It just seemed like an older... tone, which was nice. Like that's not a knock on it. I really dug that.
Yeah, I recommended this album to someone earlier this week, and they said like it felt like they were straight out of the 70s, and I was like really, like, yeah, I kind of see that, but I think I've just kind of grown numb to it. Like I don't really think about it like that anymore, even though it's so analogous to the country rock Laurel Canyon stuff we were talking about. I just put it on and it's like, it's Dawes. I like Dawes, so I'm gonna listen to Dawes right now.
I almost forgot that it was recorded in 2013 because I think it has a little older sound to it also. Mm-hmm. Like I think I might have saw that, but like listening to it, it seems like, I don't know, like...
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that even if, especially if I was in like more along like the lines of like your shoes, Jordan, like someone who doesn't listen to quite like a wide variety of like this genre still, I definitely even more, I think, would be like, oh, so this is probably like recorded around the same time as like, the Eagles and shit like that. So I think they nailed that because I imagine that's what they were going for. That's probably what they were listening to.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why, but just the funniest thing ever that I remember is that in 6th grade when like everybody was listening to like new Lil Wayne or like B.O.B. or something, there's this one dude who was just like, yeah, the Eagles are my favorite band. And I'm like, I've never even heard of that band before. The Eagles? Yeah. Like, he's just like, dude, I love the Eagles. And we're like, it's funny, like, people who got into them, like, obviously he probably had like a parent or something that was like,
right, he probably wasn't 11 years old and discovered.
Yeah, no, probably not.
You don't just find music independently when you're like 12. Like, you don't like drive to a record store.
That's why I was like,
yeah,
I'm just saying,
he steals a car to go to the record shop.
Dude, it was so funny though because I just remember being like, the Eagles, what kind of? He's like,
who's the Eagles? 60s. I only know Eminem.
He's always like the 60s, bro. Who listened to music from the 60s, bro? Turns out a lot of people now, but
overrated band from the 60s.
Oh,
the Beatles.
I was gonna say. I knew you were gonna say the Beatles.
I'll say it.
I think you haven't checked them out enough, Jamie, because they do have their stuff.
Will say it.
And they if you learn the history of the bands that came before them, they really did revolutionize a lot. And I guess you say that you understand the impact.
I appreciate
that they had.
them, but I do not really sit and listen to them. Yeah, like I appreciate the impact and what they did. The whole, they kicked off the British invasion. Some of my favorite music comes from there. Like fucking Zeppelin, love that shit. But I like Hey Jude. Yesterday's a banger. Let It Be.
British invasion.
I think Let It Be was off that album that like
a few more.
They didn't even really get together to record. It was just like their studio wanted to put it out.
Yeah.
And they all hated each other by then. I don't know a lot about it. But, but like Revolver is a good
Here
album.
Comes the Sun.
Abbey Road's a really good album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is alright.
No, get that out of here. That's the weird shit. It's okay. I don't really get with that.
Okay.
But like Let It Be, Yesterday, Hey Jude, Come Together, Heavy. Those are great songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow Submarine?
No.
It's okay.
The Yellow Submarine is like a Wiggles song.
Blackbird?
Eleanor Rigby, I like that one. Blackbird's
a great
fire
song.
tune.
You say
That is a
Mordecai
banger.
Rigby?
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly.
I think we glossed over the fact that you said Yellow Submarine is a Wiggles song. I agree.
Absolutely.
It is. We needed to highlight that comment. It's just.
That's going on a shirt. We're gonna start making merch. We're putting Yellow Submarine as a Wiggle song on. That's a shirt.
It's too lengthy. We need to like shorten it, or we just need to like have a picture of like the Wiggles with a Yellow Submarine or something.
Yeah,
we can workshop.
Yeah, we'll workshop it. Yeah,
we'll workshop it.
But yeah, some of my I also there were a lot of really. I said I don't like it, but I said that there's a lot of really groovy riffs and piano lines. I don't know why. I just felt like such a sellout just saying groovy. It just feels weird to me to say that.
I have become not to cut you off, but I have become such a huge fan of just describing music by the feeling of it, especially since I'm not super musically inclined, but just like I heard Paul McCartney talk about it on his Smartless episode. He doesn't really know any musical theory, and he was part of the biggest
McCartney.
band ever. Yeah. And like just knowing the feeling of things when you create them, or knowing enough about music to try and create a feeling with music, and developing something that's so influential is just very impressive. But anyways, back to the groovy
music
piano
theory is the framework, and the feeling is the interior design.
Indeed.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily know or need to know how fucking A-frame roofs work, but you just feel like you know how a room should look. So yeah, it's kind of the same way. To be analogous.
Wait.
But yeah, I mean, there were some really good parts, like the piano from a window seat.
Mm-hmm.
I buckle in my seatbelt and plug my headset in a chair, and to the music I watch.
I really like that. Like the piano throughout the whole thing. It's just the kind of thing where I sit there and go, yeah, this is really, really good.
Damn.
I thought a pretty poignant line was in Someone Will, because the whole song is like, if you want someone to love you, someone will. It won't be me, but someone will. Kind of.
Well, yeah, it's kind of that. It's like him professing his love to someone at a party, and then he's like, but if you don't want that, like, you can find somebody tonight. And then at the end, well, go ahead with what you were saying.
But yeah, so I thought a pretty poignant line from it was, the kind of guy you're looking for is the kind of guy I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
The guy you say you're looking for sounds like the kind of guy I wanna be. But if you just want someone to hold you tonight, well then someone will.
And I thought that kind of spoke more, because you can draw parallels to that from, you can look at that as just someone who sees an idealized version and wants themselves to be that person, but then also has like the wherewithal to understand, be like, but that's not who I am.
Yeah, I'm not
so
there
I'm not
yet.
gonna like bullshit you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, like I want to be that person, that kind of person, but I'm not. So I get it. You know, I think it's a pretty good way to look at, a mature way to look at that, I guess.
Yeah,
Instead of trying
a
to, like,
mature
bullshit or
yeah.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
Just have like, just have the internal strength to be like, you're right. Let's move on.
Yeah, even though cynicism can
Yeah,
be a
it's pretty
downer, a healthy dose of it can kind of ground you in reality rather than searching for some sort of grand sense of romanticism that doesn't like actually last, you know, or isn't like
Exactly. Yeah,
actually
man. Sometimes
fruitful.
that's just not there.
Yeah. I really like the last two lines of that song where he says, I have to believe someone will. And let me look up the two lines before that. Oh, crap. I thought I had them. I guess I didn't write them down. But,
Oh, baby.
just got this out, Jamie. I'm so sorry.
Nah, man, we're keeping it in.
We're keeping
pandering or panic, not pandering.
not pandering, but just abstractly feeling. Yeah, he says, but if you don't want me after tonight, someone will. I have to believe that someone will. Where,
Yeah,
like it sounds like, it makes it sound like he's been in this position quite a few times, and he's just trying to give himself the spirit to keep pursuing like love, even if he's viewing it in like this realistic, non-grand way. He's just trying to move through it.
yeah. I mean, and that it's even like it's the same kind of thing that's akin to like harkening back to "Cover Me Up" by Jason Isbell off of Southeastern, of which we have talked about. You know, impeccable album.
True.
But one of my favorite parts of it is talking about like the dark times, but I made it through because somebody knew that I was meant for someone. It's the same kind of thing where like sometimes, you know, if you're in a position like that, you need to have like, I guess hope might be the kind of word, but like a drive. So you have to kind of think, you know, you have to believe in something, whether it's concretely factual or not, because that's kind of what's going to be that motivating force for you to get from point A to point B through whatever, you know, walls stand in the way of that.
Yeah, and kind of having the patience and the understanding to get through like the temporary letdowns to find what you really want, you know. Listen to us talking.
Gotta crack some eggs. Make an omelet.
We're talking mature, man. We're two of us are 22. You're 21, Jamie, I think. Why did I say I think? I know you're 21.
Goo goo gaga.
You're
still 21?
Younger than me. Yes, but
Yes, my birthday's in August.
You said goo goo gaga.
Your birthday's in August?
Yes.
Fake friend.
Bro, this is like when you were shocked that I wear glasses.
Dude, I've never seen you wear glasses in my life.
And then you asked.
There was literally no way you haven't.
You said like, wait, you have
no.
Discord
in the
on
last
your laptop?
4 years.
And I was like, we record the podcast every week on a computer.
Jamie's never
Crazy.
worn glasses on here, though.
I had to have. I ran out of contacts in like September for a month.
I don't remember that, but like I have seen you wear glasses.
Right.
Anyways,
Like, what do they look like? I don't even know what color are
They're
they?
just glasses. They're like this, and they're black.
Are they like old person glasses? Like the ones you find at like
What?
Walgreens
No.
for like 10?
No, they're not.
$3
I don't
for
wear
$10?
Walgreens shit. What?
Bro, I didn't
Jamie
know.
wears readers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you don't wear them that
No,
often. So maybe like you just got like.
No, I wear contacts every day.
No, that's what I'm saying. So maybe you had shitty glasses because like you don't use them that often, you know?
No, they're decent. They're kind of old. I need to get a new prescription, but I really like the guitar solo in Most People.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't know most people feel that same way.
And then they're not quite solos, but like they're just parts of Hey Lover. I liked those.
Yeah.
The guitar kind of, it's not quite a solo, but it's like a
noticeable riff
of guitar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think most people was it's one of my favorite videos I took from their concert. He goes kind of crazy on the guitar solo. I posted it on Twitter a long time ago, like the night after the concert or something.
Plug, check the description for his handle.
Oh.
And hit media and scroll through.
Yeah, scroll 2 years back through my Twitter.
Dude, you probably find it in like 2 minutes.
Have you posted in the last 2 years?
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably find it in 2 minutes because Nick never tweets.
That is very true.
Exactly. Me and Jordan.
But I feel like I don't even tweet that. Like, there's people with like...
I retweet quite a lot more than I actually...
There's people with like thousands upon thousands of tweets.
Yeah.
They tweet like...
And that's crazy.
Like 50 times a day or something. I'm like...
Yeah, and unless you're marketing like an OnlyFans or anything, like why are you tweeting that much?
my
like,
Twitter,
what are you getting from that?
Well, let me tell you, Jamie, there's a lot of people who tweet a lot, not just because of that. People just like throwing their emotions into a void.
I know, I've never been someone to do that, so like it doesn't make sense to me that people do that.
Yeah.
But that's
okay, sorry.
It's just kind of weird.
This isn't related.
It's like the all black screen Snapchats with the words on it.
No, dude, you can cut this out if you want to. It's not like super pertinent, but like there was this funny thing. This girl straight up was just crying on her Snapchat story the other day, like hard crying, was like looking into the camera, and I'm like, "What is this?"
That's
and
weird.
And then the next day, she's like, "So me and Robert talked, and we're gonna try to make it work." And I'm like, "What the? Like, who cares, bruh?
Like,
that sounds.
Why are you telling us this?"
Okay.
That sounds hilarious. I hate to be like rude.
No. I thought it was so funny, and not because it's someone crying. It's because like it's the concept. I think it was because she was off social media for like so long. I was like, oh, I don't know where she went. And then it's just like I'm just scrolling through my Snap stories, and it's just this girl like hard crying,
straight up sobbing.
Like into the camera. Yeah, she's like. I'm like, what?
That's just weird. That's just so weird. Like spiking the lens. I don't know. That's odd.
Yeah, it's. If I still had it, I'd show you. But I was like,
you know, if that is therapeutic to you, go for it.
Yeah, apparently.
It seems like a sketch to me. I don't know.
I know.
I like the rise and fall of the energy in Bear Witness a lot.
Yeah.
Have it like it climbs and climbs and climbs, and then like boom, back to just piano. And then it builds again. It's a very dynamic soundscape.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the songs.
Crazy that he saw a fucking bear, dude.
He was a bear.
He witnessed that shit.
That's crazy. That was one of the songs that
I saw that bear.
That was one of the songs that I had kind of forgotten about, and I came back to it, and now it's honestly one of my favorite songs on the album. I think the message.
Okay, so.
The message
you can finish that thought.
The message of the lyrics and talking about bearing witness to these various kinds of love and acts of love that he that the narrator of the song sees in the world, and talking about that's kind of why they're here, you know, to take those in and learn from.
Life's just a bunch of experiences.
It's a little bit of everything.
So like experiences are the derivative.
Let me go see.
And life is the integral.
A little bit of everything.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. For all of our listeners who don't know calculus, Jamie's describing life and the experiences of it in terms of calculus right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people know.
No, life isn't the integrant. Life is the function integrated.
Life is the function.
I don't know. Don't think about it.
I kind of get it now, but we're moving on.
Yeah. Did you guys like the reprise or the regular version of Just question. Beneath the Surface more? Do you have an answer for it, or you just...
I think
I like the reprise more. I'll say that.
Yeah, and I think I like the first one more, which is strange because usually I like the intimacy that a lot of reprises have, and I don't know if it's because the reprise was used satirically in an American Dad episode that I witnessed that made me not enjoy it quite as much. But
I don't know. I witnessed the same scene, and
I think it's just scarred me. Like when I coincidentally saw that on TV, I felt attacked.
You said no.
Like it wasn't. It wasn't like oh my god, they're using
now I hate it.
They're using this beautiful band in this terrible TV show. Like American Dad's pretty funny, but the whole sequence
but they used it as like clowning on because it's like
people.
He's making a like generic indie film, and they clowned on it by using that song.
One of Steve's friends' dads dies, and they go on an indie road trip, and they're in the forest, like contemplating life's meaning, like standing next to this stream. And then that Dawes song, Just Beneath the Surface, reprised. Like the last like instrumental portion of the song, the minute it just plays.
Yeah.
And I heard it and I was like, what? my oh my god.
That's hilarious. I think I like the reprised a little bit more just because his voice. I like his voice in the reprise a little bit more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jordan likes the intimacy.
Jordan likes the slower song.
Just like
Which, see, Nick, I was thinking that it kind of makes sense that I like the reprise more and you like the original more, because we also have the same thing with, like, the Sturgill song that I really like.
Oh,
I think Call to Arms. I like it. I like the more bluegrassy version of it, and you like the, like, super harder rock version of it.
Yeah, true.
So, maybe... Is that a parallel? Who knows, based on the conversation we just had. But,
could be.
Before we had that conversation, that's what I thought. So, you decide, listener. And get back to us. Let us know the conclusion you come to. That's all the notes that I have. I don't really have many. What about you guys?
Go ahead, keep talking, Nick. We know you got more.
Let's see. Do you have any, Jordan? Like any standout stuff that you enjoyed? Like any favorite songs? I guess.
I'm gonna say no for right now. I don't know. It just go, and then I'll say.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if you were gonna really dive into like. I knew this wasn't really your kind of music, and I was pretty interested to see how you enjoyed it because it was kind of difficult for me to categorize their music for a long time, and then once I figured out, it was kind of like like country rock with elements of folk in the lyricism. It's still like a very hyper specific.
Yeah, you know
category.
how I like my country rock with
folk lyrics,
the folk and the lyricism.
Hey, we learned that you might like country, you just don't like the accent.
True.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We haven't done the test. We haven't tested you on that yet, but we gotta
find a good album for that.
No, again, it was more just. I think this album came back a little bit, Nick, to where it was new enough to where I feel like it sounded the same, and like. To me, a little bit like
like most of the album sounded the same. You mean because it was just such
not
a
like,
different
not
genre for you? Yeah,
mm-hmm. yeah. And I feel like that. I don't want that to be like an excuse because I've like listened to a lot of albums now, but like that's just again it was something like if I put on my car, I probably wouldn't notice like the lyrics a lot, but I would like have I would have like a good time listening to like the music of it, you know. And that's why like some of these I would listen to the lyrics, but right now it's like. It's just kind of it was new enough to where I was kind of just listening to the music a lot. Does that make sense?
That's like the last verse of "Hey Lover." They say, "I never tell her when she plays a song I never heard because I always learn the music and forget the words." You said the music blends together for you. You know?
Yeah, but I always forget the words.
Interesting.
But
I don't speak English, so.
Oh really? What?
Oh yeah.
I just don't know what they say.
You don't know what you're saying right now?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Wait.
Wait. But one of my
I gotta fix that job application shit.
Oh.
Job application shit.
I think the shit was
because like the joke would be that I said I didn't know English, but I'm speaking it, so I gotta go and fix that job application because
that wasn't
funny. Not funny. Didn't laugh.
I think the shit, but
monkey.
I thought it was interesting because Jordan said job application shit, and the shit was like a remark at the end of your statement. but he summed it up with the. This isn't a linguistics podcast.
Oh, that might be the dumbest segment we've ever had.
I'm sorry. I also just ate, so I'm a little tired. Like that.
No,
like,
I get that. I feel that. I don't know.
Like I just
is.
ate I ate for the first time today, and whenever I eat for the only one time,
sponsored.
Yeah, I hope, dude. If I got a Chipotle card, I had free Chipotle. I think I'd just.
Dude, literally, if any food place sponsored me, that's what I would eat.
I'd try the whole menu.
Except for like Long John Silver. If Long John Silver tried to give me free food, I would turn it down.
Bro, the way I eat Filet-O-Fish, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah, you sick bastard. You're a sick man.
That Snapchat was awful. Nick's
You're not
choosing
even
violence
Catholic.
today.
We should.
Ate a filet
and Catholic
of fish.
people only eat it like during Lent.
Yeah,
I think,
and you're just like, yo, I could eat a fillet of fish. Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I ate it on Saturday.
Crazy,
Fire.
crazy.
It actually wasn't fire. They didn't put enough tartar sauce on it, and it made me mad.
Yeah, you said it wasn't.
But
good.
the nuggets.
I'm sorry,
They
dude,
made the nuggets great for sure.
Yeah,
the nuggies, the noogies.
But
they're 100% eat. How do you not like nuggets?
100% eat.
Yeah, it's like boneless wings. They're 100% food.
Oh yeah,
you don't
okay.
have to worry about bones.
So it was a filet of fish.
You chose. Wait for the 2 for $5 deal. You chose the nuggets.
He chose a filet of
and a
fish and
filet
nuggets.
of fish. You chose the nugs. And
I don't get a filet of fish by
Hang on.
itself that much because the combo, it doesn't really fill me up because the sandwich is so small. If they had a double filet of fish on the menu, like they did as a promotional offer when I was younger, I would probably eat that like every other time I went to McDonald's. But now...
You're a sick man. You're a sick man.
Now
Nick is canceled. Nick is canceled.
Out of... Jordan, you said
Nick is hard
you said you would willingly kill a dog earlier, and I'm getting kicked
Yeah,
off the
and
podcast.
you're the one canceled, you sick
I
bastard.
thought you meant on the
You
podcast.
sick.
I thought you
bastard.
meant just on the podcast, like as a joke after it comes on the podcast. You know,
Wait,
not like
Disgusting.
all the time. Anyways,
but I'm surprised. Okay, back to the music. I'm surprised that neither of you said anything about From the Right Angle, because I don't know if it's the third to last song on the album, and I can't remember if I saw it in concert and that really inspired my love of the song, but I really love the song on their live album, and it's I think on the record it's like 4.5 minutes on the studio album, and on their live album it's like 8.5 minutes, because the last whole section of the song is just a big instrumental breakdown, and that song kind of has a higher energy, kind of like Hey Lover, kind of like from a window seat, a little bit like Bear Witness.
Yeah.
But there's a line that I've always really liked in it that says, "Until all you want is all I know how to do, I might seem like I could take care of you." And the whole gist of the chorus, it's very wordy, and it's hard to think about if you don't read the lyrics. But the whole gist of the chorus of the song is like, this could work out if we paint it in the right picture, if we like pick out all these little details of this thing that we like, then it looks like it'll work, but in reality we both know it's kind of crumbling. And there's a line at I think it's the first 2 lines in the song where he says, "You found me on the other side of a loser's winning streak." Like, he's on the upturn right now, but he's not really I don't know, like he doesn't deserve it, or like he doesn't have a great track record of being successful. And there's another line that's I know the end of it is, "Saves you the place at the end of an empty glass." Like talking about solving your problems by drinking and stuff. And it's kind of a cathartic song to me. And I really like the drums and the chorus and the bridge and stuff. But that's probably like, I would say top 5 Dawes songs for me, but there's so many songs that I enjoy that it's really hard to quantify.
Yeah.
But yeah. One of my favorites on the album for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it is the concert. I don't know. I didn't hate the song, but I don't know. I didn't have the same draw to it.
The same emphasis.
I think you just like this stuff.
I think my favorite on the album was probably either Bear Witness or From a Window Seat.
Yep.
I think.
And my favorites are probably...
I don't know if I'd have a favorite.
Yeah. If it all sounds so similar, I get that opinion that it's difficult because I felt a similar way listening to like Blueface a long time ago, and like Meet the Woo 2 a little bit more than Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon.
Yeah.
Because that one had a little more variation in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've come to try and dissect them a little more, even when I come to that like thought process of it all. But
yeah,
it is easier for someone who's listened to all of their music a lot to pick out little details in it and stuff.
That's what I'm saying, bruv.
I've always been a big fan of Most People too. Just the way it drops.
Yeah, I think I like Most People.
Yeah. The way it drops into...
Yeah.
It kind of drops into
like
the chorus
every time. Like whenever you meet people in real life.
Oh, you're a fan of Most People?
Yeah, sorry, Nick. Continue. You were so good. You had a train of thought, and I just ruined it with the joke.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good. Yeah, I like the way it drops into the chorus, how they draw out the most people, and then the instruments come in.
And falls in love with every man she cannot help. And she thinks most people don't talk enough about how lucky they are. Most people don't know what it takes for me to get through the day. Most people don't talk enough about
And the bridge is really nice, how the backing vocals are kind of offset. It's not harmonizing, but it kind of starts halfway through the other line. It's like an interesting choice.
And she thinks most people don't talk enough about how lucky they are. Most people don't know what it takes for me to get through the day. Most people don't talk enough about the love in their hearts. But she doesn't know most people feel that same way.
And those backing vocals and some of the vocals, the only vocals on the second verse of Hey Lover, and then they blend in the fourth verse, I think, are the drummer for the band, who is the singer's younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah. You
don't normally hear too many like drummer backing vocals, I feel like.
Yeah. And he's a pretty good singer. Griff.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. Griff
drumming background vocals.
Yeah. Griff is the drummer.
Background vocals.
Taylor's the singer. Wiley's the bassist, and Lee is their keyboard player. And they had a different keyboard player for their first 4 albums, and now Lee Pardini's their new keyboard player for their latest 3 albums. Yeah. And I think another song we didn't mention that I just really love the melody to, the signature guitar melody that kicks off the song, is the song right after From the Right Angle, called Side Effects. It's not a huge song, like a hugely emphasized song on the record, but I just really love the... I could be completely wrong, but I learned the term arpeggiation like a week ago, which is when arpeggiating a chord is like when instead of playing the complete chord as one sound really fast, you play like the notes individually in a sequence to where you can still hear the individual notes that make up the chord. And I couldn't tell you what chord,
because a chord is 3 notes. It's a first, third, and a fifth.
Okay,
and this is your chord tone. So in arpeggio, you would be like 1-5-3 or 1-3-5 or like any of those things, to where your brain, you still hear
the sequence.
You like put it together and you hear like the chord sound that is. And it's a really cool thing. It's how a lot of like guitar solos are constructed. But that's how you make a major and a minor chord. Is your third, which is your chord tone, is either like flat or not. Like a flat chord tone. Okay. A flat third gives you a minor chord, and a non-flat third gives you a major chord.
Okay. Now that I know like just a little bit more music theory from like the 50 pages of the book that I read that my mom got me for Christmas, that I actually think I completely understood that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I really like it's not the end of every verse, it's the end of every like 2 or 3 sections of the verses, because Side Effects doesn't have a traditional chorus, but it's just kind of verse, verse, verse. And then at the end of every second or third passage, they say, or Taylor says, "'Cause if love is what you said it would be, then you'd be here with me now." And then it goes into that guitar melody. It's just like that. That's like the little like pluck on my heartstrings. Like every time I listen to the album.
Oh,
what a vibe,
little baby!
And it's not like
little baby.
It's not like I'm sitting in my room like in the dark listening to this sad song. Like
right.
I listen to a lot of. I don't even listen to as much emotional music as I used to, but I do listen to music with a lot of, I guess, that I feel like has a lot of effort put into it, or it makes me like music more when I know about the artist, and I know I kind of admire who they are or what they stand for, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me kind of naturally enjoy their music more, and also enjoy any creative liberties or style changes that they take. Like Sturgill Simpson, he, for his last like 4 albums, he's changed his sound up pretty big on each one. And every one I'm like, man, this is great. And then he comes out with another one, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then he comes out with 2 bluegrass albums back to back, and I'm like, how could it get any better?
Yeah, aww. I mean, I think that's the case though with a lot of stuff. I mean, the more you like an artist, the more freedom that you're mentally going to allow them on whatever art they're creating.
Yeah, that is true.
I think that's just because like we as people, you probably also would give your friends more of a pass if they did something that annoyed you than like a stranger.
Very true.
Yeah, true.
It's the same kind of thing. Because we're relationship-driven creatures.
Yes. I get it. Blue baby.
What?
Like, we give Jordan a pass on that.
No, I was saying like Blueface. I think he's funny, so sometimes I listen to his music just because he's funny.
No, I got you.
So do you guys have any other notes before we give her an old rating?
I think that's it for May.
I think that's pretty much it. We talked about most of the songs that I really enjoy. They're just, I love the folky aspect and the wordiness of the song, and the instrumentation doesn't, like even though the songs are pretty wordy, they don't get you really like bogged down and like thinking about it a whole lot, I guess. It doesn't feel like a Bob Dylan song where you hear him play it and you're like, ooh man, what is he talking about? It does feel like that sometimes if you dig into it, but there's a lot of energy and almost a little not sassiness or like attitude, but like a little bit of confidence in the music that, like, I don't know, something about throwing out these contemplative like philosophical statements and like poetic lyrics into the air and just like letting them sit has always attracted me. So yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then with that, I guess we can go ahead and give a rating. Nick, if you want to start us off, and then Jordan, and since I'm picking next week, I'll go last.
Okay.
Gotcha. I'll give her you know what? I'll give it a 9.
I was about to be pogging. I thought you were going to give it a 10.
No. Because it's not my favorite Dawes album. It's one I like a whole lot after listening to it this week. It's up there, but it's, yeah. 9's pretty solid.
Jordan, what are you feeling on it?
Might have to give it the old 4 for this one.
Balance out the 9.
I'm sorry, Nick. Maybe if I listened to more country roots with bluegrass entanglements, I would like it more.
Wait, close.
Something
Almost.
like that.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so yeah, I think I have to give it a 4 for this one.
No, you're good.
Okay. And then I think there were parts of it that I really liked, but overall, I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it a 6.
I respect
6
it.
even. Because it, like I like some parts of it, and I saved a few songs in my library, but I don't know that this is definitely like that. This is really gonna be one that I'm gonna like go back to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that will bring the average to 6.33 and bring it in tied with Yes Laud for the 26th position.
Another Nick pick.
Another pick of Nick's.
Beautiful.
At least
Another
it's still
Nick pick.
over Blueface and Pop Smoke and probably some other rappers that you guys hate. So, man, you Nick, bro. I hate you, bro.
All
Yeah.
rock for the win,
Don't
baby.
give Dawes over a 6.
Wait,
Wait, what do you say?
I said alt
So-
rock for the win.
Next week, then I can announce that we are going to be listening to our. Let me double check that this is true.
What,
Okay,
are you gonna
so
lie
we've
about it?
listened to artists that have female lead singers.
Okay.
Alabama Shakes,
Mhm.
Lawrence. There was some stuff in there. There was LSD, Sia was in there.
True.
But we're doing our first female artist album because we are going to be doing 21 by Adele next week.
Interesting.
Because so I wanted to do get some more female artists in here.
Yeah. Ooh, this is gonna be
and
a
I
good
love
album, too.
I love all of her work. So it was difficult for me to choose.
Yeah, no, this is a good album though.
I think 21 is what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Hopefully she'll put out new music soon. It's been 6 years.
Oh yeah, Adele.
And she's gone through a divorce. She's gonna have some emotional shit.
Bro, she gonna have some emotional shit, bro.
Had a kid, yeah.
She
And
lost
went through a
weight
whole,
too.
yeah, she went through a
Lost
whole
weight, yeah,
crazy
yeah.
transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
So yes,
Okay.
we're gonna be doing we're gonna put on our little more emotional hats. We're gonna listen to Adele next
Okay.
week
Oh gosh, Adele.
and talk about it. I'm excited. But for now, what have you guys been listening to this week? Because for me, it's been just really a lot of podcasts.
Okay.
Interesting.
I haven't listened to as much music. Some Peach Pit, some Glass Animals, the usual, but mostly just podcasts.
What about you, Jordan?
Sorry, I'm looking at my Spotify real quick. I've been listening more Sleepy Hollow and
Ichabod Crane type beat.
Chef G. I hate you.
Sorry, I just collapsed.
That was
Ichabod
such a bad
Crane.
joke. That was funny though. I keep listening to the song Daisy. It's like a TikTok song. It's the one that goes like, "I'm crazy, but you like that. You like that. Daisy."
I don't know that one.
It's like, oh, you guys know, right?
I don't think
Nick,
so.
you know, if I
Maybe, yeah, like if you played it, but based on that, I don't know that I
like that. You like that. Anyways, there's this one part. It's like there's this one part where she's just like, "Make your mans call me daddy," and it's like a girl singer. I'm just like, yo, this is kind of hard. Like, she said, like, being a bitch is my kink. I'm like, yo, these lyrics are kind of these lyrics are kind of fire.
Like,
just say, hey, wait a minute.
It's like, I don't know, something about reclaiming that shit. I don't know. It's just like, it's just a good song. But anyways, I forgot like what. Sorry, I've just been listening to that song a lot too. This is Pop Smoke Radio, obviously. I'm still trying to listen to like my weekly discovery. Lil TK, I forgot to tell you guys too. Do you know who? Oh my gosh, what's his name? Let me find it real quick. Dusty Locane is?
No.
Remember about Dusty Locane? It was rumored that he was Pop Smoke's cousin for a little bit, which I don't think he actually is. I think it was just a rumor. But he sounds so close to Pop Smoke. But obviously I can tell the difference. But he is like, he's got the grrr, and like he has like the deep ass voice that like radiates. I'll send you the song that I'm listening to by him. Right. But like, even like there's some like, I'm in a Pop Smoke Discord also, but sometimes they do polls, and the polls like, you guys fuck with Dusty Locane, and it's like, I probably do. But yeah, so he's one of them. But it's crazy how deep his voice is, and like, but yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I've been listening to. Sorry to take up the whole song.
Well, I've been listening to this girl named Faye Webster. I listened to all 3 of her albums. Her first album is kind of it's pretty country-ish, like kind of country singer-songwriter and then her second 2 albums blend that sound with almost like a chill R&B sound. Like it's crazy. I've never heard anything like it, and it's just very interesting. And me being a fan of both country and chill R&B, it's just so crazy. Hearing a little bit of fiddle in the mix with your groovy bass lines. Who knew it would fit, you know?
I feel like fiddle could fit into more places than we allow it to.
Yeah, fiddle and like droney guitar and like little lap steel stuff. It's wild.
Lap steel, okay,
definitely.
Okay. Lap steel.
For Emma Forever Ago. The Bon Iver album.
Excellent album.
Good album. God. I almost picked it for...
Who's that by?
Bon Iver. Bon Iver.
Bon Iver, yes.
That was the first album, right?
Yeah. I almost picked it to do this week, and then I was like, I honestly think it's going to make me like too sad to like do my schoolwork, so then I didn't do it.
You could have done 22 a Million.
True. That's a good one too. People sleep on it.
That's a sleeper, man.
But
for sure.
Yeah. Someone showed me Coldplay's debut album, the one with yellow on it. Like I never listened to the whole album.
Yeah. Parachutes is their debut album?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I listened to that whole thing yesterday, and I was like, man, so many of these songs are so good.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised.
Yeah, they definitely went downhill.
A little bit. Or a lot.
What?
Fuck Ghost Stories. Fuck Magical Adventureland or whatever it's called.
I'm pretty sure it's called A Head Full of Dreams. Isn't that the album?
I don't know. I literally have
Magical.
No idea.
What?
I don't know.
A
Prism
head
something. And then they had the halftime show, and I was like, yo, this
no. The album's called The Head Full of Dreams. I have that song on CD.
Yeah.
Claire got it for me for one of our...
Yeah.
Yeah, see? I know Coldplay albums.
Like, why is that album cover so good and the music so...
Oh, the album cover is really good. Yeah. I love the album.
But like Milo Zoda, A Rush of Blood to the Head, like those are great.
All great albums.
They had Beyonce on a song and it was good. So.
And then just stopped making good music.
Crazy. But it was really those, and then some random other stuff, and some podcasts. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, then with that, I guess we can go ahead. Park that train in the station. We wanted to say thanks again for listening this week. Why do I always say again? We wanted to say thanks for listening for the first time. Listening to this episode this week. And remember to tune in next week where we are going to be taking a look at 21 by Adele. Be sure to check it out so you can kind of have your own thoughts and mentally join in the discussion while you listen to the next week's episode. Feel free to either leave a comment about your thoughts on this week's album on YouTube, or you can also tweet them at us. We're on Twitter at @ListUpPodcast, and that account, as well as all of our personal handles, are going to be in the description of wherever you found this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, toss it a rating or review on whatever your respective preferred platform is. And for now, we'll catch you next week, and remember to listen up.